What's going on, YouTube? Today we got NBA legends explain how good the '96 Chicago Bulls were. My fault, yeah. Last reaction will be at the end of the video. Stay tuned for that. Without further introduction, man, let's get into it. Oh shit, it's on lag.
The Bulls finished the regular season 72 wins.
All links in the description, man. Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Hey guys, this is Dom.
Okay, we gotta get straight into
1996
watch time purposes.
And shows Scottie Pippen and Bill Wennington talking about the 1996.
Watch time purposes, man.
Dennis was
get straight into
it.
it.
He lost Horace Grant and his rebounding and his defense at that power forward spot. So Dennis fit that bill perfectly, and really above and beyond for what Dennis did.
When the lights turn on, he gave everything he had.
There is the athleticism of Dennis Rodman.
Doesn't give up on the ball.
Ron Harper stepped up. Tony Kukoc really developed in the previous 2 years. Really, that team really meshed so well as a team. And that was one of Phil's philosophies, that the wholeness and the balance of everything has to be together. And I think that's one of the best teams where truly I think everyone liked everyone and wanted to be around everyone all the time. Phil would break us up every now and then and pin those two guys against each other because they're really the only ones who could push each other to the limits. But everyone else had to fight to keep up with them. Every night you step on the floor, teams were really gunning for you. In warm-ups, you could tell sometimes where teams just, before the game started, kind of succumbed to, wow, we don't have a chance. And other teams, we could see guys really roughing it up, getting ready, and like, okay, we're gonna have a little battle tonight.
Ruffin has it blocked by Longley. Oh, what a play to Pippen. Sally, yes, Jordan.
It seemed like nothing went wrong that whole year.
We won a lot of games because of the closeness. Nothing rattled us.
We were more polished from the neck up. We thought the game out a little bit more. We read each other more. We communicated better on the court. We had a great group of guys in terms of our bench. Guys that, were professionals in terms of taking care of their bodies and being ready for the back-to-backs.
The 72-10 season was absolutely incredible, and how dedicated the team and coaching staff were, not necessarily to achieve that record, but to make sure that they were ready to win another championship.
The Chicago Bulls have won the 95-96 NBA championship, 4 in 6 years, as they defeat the Sonics 87-75.
And the next player that we're going to take a look at is Kendall Gill. Now, if you don't know Kendall Gill, he played for the Charlotte Hornets, the New Jersey Nets, and some other teams, and he was a pretty solid small forward / shooting guard. Let's hear what he has to say.
Was it the NBA versus Michael Jordan? I kind of felt that watching The Last Dance. Like, it was like no one really believed they could beat Michael Jordan's Bulls, but it was like, man, it was like the whole they tried their best, especially especially the second one after the Rockets. It seemed like
everybody was trying, man. But it was just, he was too good. The system that they had, their triangle offense was too good. Scottie was too good, and you could beat him on, like, if you catch him on an off night, you could beat him. But no team could beat him in a 7-game series, because they will eventually figure you out. Like great fighters do, they'll eventually figure you out, and they'll go towards your weakness and beat you. And it never failed, man. One thing that teams cannot do when you go to play the Chicago Bulls is you can't suffer the Mike Tyson effect. Mike. You know how Mike used to have to do the beat before they even got to the ring. That's the way the Bulls, that's what it was like for a lot of guys playing the Bulls.
Scottie Pippen walking into the arena the other day runs into Paul Pabst from Dan Patrick's show. Yeah. Paul asks him, if your team from 96 played these Warriors, what would happen? And Scottie said, we would sweep them. The 96 Bulls would sweep the Warriors. Charles, what do you think?
I disagree with Scottie. I think the Warriors would win one game.
One game.
But I do. I think they would, because you got the three, probably arguably the three most athletic players to ever play in the NBA. Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and Dennis Rodman. They would have a field day against a small No disrespect, the Warriors are terrific. Steph Curry is terrific. Klay Thompson, they're amazing. Draymond's a hell of a player. But Dennis Rodman, Scottie Pippen, and Michael Jordan in a free-flowing game, no hand checking, they would be even better than they were in '96. Michael Jordan playing by the day's rules, he's at a serious advantage. And Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen can guard Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. But they have nobody can keep Dennis Rodman off the board. And he can guard Draymond. He can guard Iguodala. So listen, this team here is a great little team. But the Bulls, I disagree with Scottie. Those Warriors would win a game.
Now the next clip that we're going to take a look at is actually from one of the most underrated defenders of his era, John Spider Selly. Obviously, he played for the Detroit Bad Boy Pistons, but also for the Chicago Bulls. Let's hear what he has to say.
You joined the Bulls early that season in March. What do you remember the most about that stretch run at the end of the regular season when the team was trying to break the record?
I remember when you walked in and Tex was trying to show me the offense, and I pulled out my the videotapes, I had VHS tapes of the triangle that we had in Detroit. And he was looking at it, goes, "This is how you guys played us?" I go, "Yeah." So I kind of got an idea of it, and I just kept wanting to learn it. But it was, we win here. We walked in the game, it was like 50% chance you already won. When you walk with Michael, it's 110 chance you're going to win. The other guys are thinking, I'm not going to get embarrassed. I hope he doesn't dunk on me. They were in fear playing us, and that was the most amazing thing.
All right, so John, we know the Warriors eclipsed the record with 73 wins in 2016, but they didn't win it all that year. Your team, you did. The wins record was great, but how important was it to finish 96 and that record with the championship?
That's exactly how Phil put it. Phil said all of this work and all the things we're doing, you don't get this far. When the playoffs started, it was going into another season.
Listen, and people even when you try to make a fair, honest comparison, people think you're hating. Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, Tony Kukoc, Ron Harper would be better today. They would be better players today, in my opinion. Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, Tony Kukoc, they would be better. There's no hand checking Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Tony Kukoc. I'm just saying that there's no. That's 3 times fast.
You forgot Ron Harper on that list.
No, Ron Harper he'd be great defensively. Ron Harper was a hell of a player.
I know, but you're going to rattle those guys off. Do it again. Do it again.
I think I could handle Durant there. I would give Jordan the edge in his category. I think me and KD will probably be a wash.
Really?
6'11", the guy shoots the ball from all over the court.
You were okay on defense, I remember.
I mean, that's why I say it was a wash. I think we could kind of watch each other play out. Michael could probably take over Klay. But in terms of Steph and Ron Harper, I may give Steph
y'all had 3 guys that can guard Kevin. I mean, Dennis wasn't a slouch on defense. Michael could guard him. You could guard him.
I also think that we had a very strong bench. Steve Kerr, Tony Kukoc. We had good shooters in our bigs, Bill Winnington. We had a pretty good team. I feel good about my team. It's hard to say how we would match up with today's players.
So how good were the 1996 Chicago Bulls, in my opinion? Well, I already dedicated a full video explaining why I think that the Chicago Bulls were the best team of all time. And it's not only because of Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and Dennis Rodman, but it's also because of guys like Tony Kukoc, Steve Kerr, Ron Harper, Luke Longley, Bill Winnington, and all those guys. And they were simply the best team on offense and on defense. They could guard literally any opposing team, and they could score on any opposing team. And I'm 100% sure if they would have played against, let's say, the 2016 Golden State Warriors, I'm 100% sure that they also would have beaten them in the playoffs. I think maybe 4-2. That's my prediction.
And that's the end of this one, y'all. If you enjoyed this reaction, man, make sure you click on the last reaction on your screen right now. Let me know how good you think the 96 Bulls were, and do you think they could beat the Warriors? I don't know. It's hard for me. I might debate y'all in the comments, man. Or